Okay. For those of you who might not know me, I'm Ha. I've been in tech for 25 years, the first 16 years as a product exec, non-technical. So while I worked a lot with engineers, I never really built anything myself. And I would describe myself as a fake it until you make it type of product leader, where sometimes I would just pretend that I knew what the engineers were talking about. But anyways, the world has changed since I first started as a PM in 2000. Um, a few months ago, my friend Kasim had asked me to share the SnapCamp bootcamp with my product friends because I'm also a community builder and have a ton of product folks in my network. And then I basically was like, Kasim, let's go grab coffee because I want to hear what you're up to. And as soon as he told me, I'm like, okay, I'm in. You have to get me into the first boot camp because I need to upskill in AI and learn how to vibe code. And what I participated in really, really blew me away. So in boot camp one, which Cassie, Stan, and Cheyenne, who are on video, they were all part of boot camp one. 100% of us shipped products live. The NPS was 91. Cassie, Stan, and Cheyenne are now bootcamp 2 mentors, and they are here to share a little bit about their experience and then showcase some of the products that they vibe coded in bootcamp 1. But anyways, like, yeah, I am such a big fan and evangelist. I continue to be involved. And so I'm so glad to have a bunch of you here. With that, I'm going to hand it over to my friend Kasim. So Kasim, serial founder, he'll share more about himself. He and I have been friends for 5 years. We've played poker together along with Stan. And I'm finally glad to get a chance to be involved in one of his companies. Before Kasim chats, Zach, did you have something that you wanted to say, or was that just some background noise? Okay, maybe some background noise. Okay. Okay. So Kasim, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ha. And before I begin, needless to say, all of this would not have been possible for you. So without you, so thank you so much for always supporting us. Let me just quickly share my screen. Amazing. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, awesome. So my name is Kasim, and I'm the founder of SnapDev. I also run a company called RemoteBase, so I have like 5+ years of spinning up large engineering teams, organizations. We also built a marketplace that screened over 350,000 engineers in the last 5 years. So we help US companies hire remote software engineers. And then I run a venture studio, and SnapDev is a part of that. And it's like completely blowing up and consuming most of my time now since we have like such talented individuals join these boot camps. Um, so that's a little bit about me. So in terms of why we're doing this, I think I I've been speaking to a lot of I had been speaking to a lot of my friends where they were like, yes, they're using multiple prototyping tools, but when they get stuck, there's not much that they can do. So, for example, Lovable and Bolt are absolutely amazing tools to prototype, but how do you take that to production? How do you make sure that you can integrate with, other tools as well? And then how do you go from just an idea all the way to production and not just prototyping? So that's a problem that I identified. It sort of came up to me, and then Cursor and Windsurf are like super powerful, but they're mostly for software engineers. So we wanted to build something that was like right in the middle, gave all the functionality and was easy to use, and sort of take you from the idea stage all the way up to production. So that was the idea. And the goal is like build anything. Like you dream of anything and you can build it. Yes, we will narrow down the scope a little bit, just because it's a 2.5 week boot camp. We'll work with you on that, but after the boot camp is over, like you can continue building your products, and that's the entire goal. Like we set you up for success so that you can continue building as you go along. It's a 2.5 week intense bootcamp, which means that you will have to dedicate um, a bunch of time. Different people dedicate different times, but anywhere from 2 hours to 4 or 5 hours a day, depending on how much bandwidth you have. The more time you dedicate, the further along you'll go. So usually what happens is within the first week, people complete the first version of their product, and then they continue to build on top of it, or they iterate and then start doing another product or modify it. So it just depends on how much time you're spending. And then every day there's going to be a check-in at the same time every single day. I'll tell you about the time as well. And the idea of the check-in is to have some community accountability, showcase what you've built, showcase what others will showcase what they've built, so that you can also track how people are coming along. And the main thing that makes all of this work is whenever you're stuck, this is the differentiator, is like you get one-on-one engineering help from engineers that are willing to hop on a call with you. At least 12 to 15 hours a day they're available, so they'll hop on a call with you, make sure you get unstuck and you keep pushing forward. So the bootcamp is very theory light. We don't teach a lot of theoretical concepts. We do have 1 or 2 sessions with CS 101 stuff, but the entire idea is all around unblocking you and shipping. How do we take you from the idea stage all the way to having an application that works? It could be your idea, it could be something your company could use. So we've had all these different use cases. So this isn't just for people that want to build their own products, but also like Stan, for example, who's going to build something for his company internally that he's using. So it could be anything that you have an idea about. Happy to answer any questions around that. Towards the end, we had cohort one was 13 participants. Right now we have cohort two ongoing. So cohort one, 13 participants, and 100% of everybody shipped products. Only one person had to ship something without one integration. Everybody else shipped like complete projects that they dreamt up in the beginning. They had zero prior coding experience, and net promoter score was 91, which was pretty incredible. What was interesting was that I thought everyone would blow through their 5 hours of engineering time, but the average engineering time was 3.5 hours per participant for the first cohort. Cohort two, people are using a little bit more, but generally average is still under 5 hours per participant, which is pretty incredible. So you don't need a lot of support just to ship. You just need them when you're stuck somewhere. And this has worked really, really well for us as a model. This is something that nobody does, no product does, no bootcamp does, which is assigning one person just for you. Um, Assigning one person whenever you need them on a one-on-one call. So for this cohort, we had like a daily ritual. The time will change, of course, for the next one, but every day you check in, you get live support. You have an entire community, which is on Slack, of your cohort members. You have pods that you can work with, accountability buddies. So it's very community involved, where everyone's coming together helping each other out, and that's like really resulted in not only us being successful, but products going much further, because a lot of these community members help each other out and then solve problems. In fact, just from the first cohort and now in the second cohort, we already have people volunteering for mentors, and I think we have more mentors than we can probably have in the next cohort, because so many people want to continue helping each other out. So the community element is pretty strong. And then, of course, you'll be vibe coding the entire idea. You won't write actual code, you will vibe code it. Code it. It's a very popular term. Basically, you'll give prompts and the AI will build it for you. So, a little bit about the product. So I've sort of highlighted this. So we have agents that take you from just the idea stage. You generate your PRD documents, then we create development plans, sprint plans, and then you start building it. It's all baked into one product. For the bootcamp, we do manually review every PRD and development plan just to make sure that it's buildable in 2.5 weeks. But after the bootcamp is over, you can continue building other ideas using the same concepts that you will learn during this bootcamp. So the product is like pretty intuitive. We'll teach you how to use it, and you'll be able to use it to build all these different products. In terms of how the AI coding assistant works, so we've built it on top of one of the most popular AI coding assistants out there. So it's like has like seven. So it's two products, open source client and RuCode. They have like one has 5 million users, one has 700,000. So pretty well tested, but we've added our own AI agents to them because they don't take you through the entire journey. So we have like brainstorming agents, PRD agents, development plan agents, a bunch of other agents that will help you, take the idea and have a finished product by the end of it. Um, Duration, I've already highlighted 2.5 weeks. Sessions, we typically tailor it cohort to cohort based on how much progress you're making. But generally speaking, Monday is going to be sessions. Tuesday, you'll have time with the engineers, and then you'll have pod days on Thursday, and then Fridays are demo days. This will generally hold true except the first week where you start off on a Friday and then end on a Monday with the demo day. So we'll communicate all of those schedules, but the core you have to take into account is checking in every day at the same time. So that's the only thing. All the sessions will be organized around it. The sessions are going to be 1 hour and keep like a 15-minute buffer for Q&A and if things go over. Um, so everyone, like, please fill out the form that are interested. Yes, we're going to showcase demos. We'll hear Cassie's experience, all of that. And towards the end, we'll also share, I will also share this link in the chat, but this is the link to sign up. Tuition is $2,000, but right now for early bird, we're doing for $14.95. If you sign up for it today, you don't have to pay today, just fill out the form. It takes only 2 minutes, and then obviously I can do follow up, answer any questions, be available over email. But I would highly recommend that you fill out the form today so that we have you in the system and you can avail the $500 off. It comes with 5 hours of one-on-one engineering time, which is a lot. And then $400 of Gemini API credits over 10 hours of live sessions. You get the entire community support as part of it as well. I'll be available just to make sure that we keep shipping. Timings are going to be 9 a.m. Pacific time for the next cohort, but we will be in the form. You will get another option of 10:30 a.m. So when you fill out the form, just select the one or two that work for you. Because in case we end up doing two cohorts, or if most people select the other one, we'll choose that. But if you can make it in both times, please select both options so that we know what the breakdown is. We did this last time and we had like 80% people select the same time. So these are going to be the timings. They're Pacific time. And yeah, cohort one participants, obviously Ha, who's like our chief evangelist. She's like helping us. She's building her product, which is turning out to be awesome. Ha told me her biggest challenge was that she's tired of paying for OpenAI credits because so many people are using her product. And we have Cassie, Stan.
It's time to monetize, Kasim.
Yes, yes. Towards the end, maybe you should talk about what you built as well, if we have time. So yeah, I would like to introduce Cassie first, who has been absolutely awesome, not just as a participant, but now as a mentor, to speak a little bit about her experience, what she built, showcase something, and then we'll move to Stan and Shayan for demos, because I feel like you won't believe it until you actually see it. So, so really important for for you to witness what the cohort one participants achieved. So Cassie, do you want to take over?
I think you're on mute, Cassie.
Great. I'll do a very brief demo, but also just speak a little bit to the program as well. So thank you, Kasim. This has been probably the most transformative thing I've done in my career in I don't know how long. So I built an app that's for executive coaching. It's a multi-sided vertical AI platform that supports both coaches and members in their growth journey. And the way that this works is I built it in a mobile first view because I envision this as an app. We're not doing app specific native development in this bootcamp, but that was the intention I wanted to go with here. And basically I turn a person's growth journey into an Instagram feed of themselves and their own moments of self-reflection. And so my protagonist here is Luke Skywalker, and you can see this is his journey. Right now, what he can do is he can add in files, but I'm working on putting in things like his Whisperflow and other integrations to get more advanced ways of adding content in here. But while this is processing live, I'm just going to share a few thoughts on the program. So now having mentored people through this and actually brought a lot of people from my network into this because I'm that enthusiastic about it. Two things like of why people sign up for this program, in my view. One is people are signing up to build their own businesses, like to build products that are going to build their businesses. So these are people with that are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, or just have that kind of itch to build, but have never coded before. And so like the next step's always been, oh, can I find a technical co-founder? Now these people are actually learning how to build themselves, and the magnitude of scope, which you'll see, like people like Stan and Cheyenne have built these huge, amazing platforms. Like it's crazy how much is possible. So reason one why I see people join is to build something that's going to build their businesses and build their lives and their vision of something that they're excited about. So that's one thing. The other thing that I think is really important for people who maybe aren't in that camp, but is a really common reason I'm seeing is like, everybody knows AI is transforming how work happens, right? The future of work is changing and evolving. For any of you that are in product management, Andrew recently said that his teams are saying they want one product manager for every 0.5 engineers, which is a huge shift. It used to be one product manager for 4 or 7 engineers. And that's because the speed of engineering has accelerated significantly, and product management, product strategy, all these other things are still very important in the equation. And so like the future of work is evolving. And I think a lot of people are developing theoretical understandings of that based on everything we're reading everywhere. But there's nothing that replaces having firsthand experience doing this and rolling up your sleeves and trying something yourself. So whether it's like, oh yeah, you're really excited to launch the thing you're launching, or you're going to go through this experience, have had firsthand experience building, and that's going to make you like have that much more of an edge in informing and shaping the future of work wherever you work. Like that's the other big reason. So just like really encourage those two around why you might think about joining the bootcamp. But just this finished processing a while ago. So to share, like I uploaded this document into his journey, and right now I have an AI going through and analyzing that content, which was a text file, and helping him have a moment of self-reflection around his own strengths and talents based on his Strengths Finder analysis, for example. And so this is just, an example of a basic Instagram feed that I'm working through. I have a lot more ideas that I'm going to be expanding on when you hit plus here. And then when you go to center, this is in the member experience, basically where people can add other content that is more evergreen about somebody's self-reflection on themselves as a leader. So for example, it's really important to know what activities energize you, what activities deplete your battery, and leaning into the things that really, bring more energy into your life. Personality tests are really important. I was just literally asked for my Strengths Finder by somebody that I want to do some work with. That's a whole nother story. Let's see here. Values, right? I think understanding the values that we want to operate by is quite important. Kasim probably is hopefully laughing. Garrett, and who's Ha's business partner, and I talk about values a little bit. So these are just some components of my app that I just wanted to share to show what's possible. This is fully functional. I've got it integrated with Clerk, which is a user service. It integrates with Stripe for billing. I've got RBAC, like roles-based access control for different kinds of roles and organizational hierarchies. Like I got the whole 9 yards in this product, and I'm just excited to keep showing it to potential customers, iterating and refining and iterating and refining on my strategy. So I'll just close because I think I was trying to time box to 5 minutes. What's really also different about this program is like the community that Kasim mentioned. It's not just like, it's really awesome to see people, quote, learning in public. Like we're building in public in this community, we're also learning in public. And I think what that really helps with is a lot of people, when they go and try using Bolt or Lovable or any of these other tools, you're kind of like, at your desk or at your home office or wherever you are in a cafe, and you're kind of doing it on your own, right? And you're navigating it and figuring it out. And maybe you're dabbling in this and that. It's so different when you're doing it with somebody else and you're like showing them your screen, like, look at this crazy thing that happened or whatever it is, right? There's something in the sense of community around that I think is like priceless. The engineering support is also amazing. And then the other piece is that in a lot of other boot camps and trainings and things, like there's a lot of like pre-recorded content and it's like classroom style. And I think what's really unique here is there's a lot of feedback. So it's not just like content that's being created and repurposed for everything. There's true mentorship happening. There's true feedback loops. There is a deep sense of service that Kasim and the engineers are bringing to this, which I think is beautiful. Like they really want to see people succeed. And so, it's something unique that I've observed with this great group. But with that, I'll pass the baton, Kasim.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cassie. And you bring up a very interesting point is like how technology is changing. I feel like in the future, the entire workflow, especially like for PMs or founders, is going to change. For PMs, it's going to be like, okay, you don't just do the PRD and hand it over. You actually build a prototype, you test it yourself, you put it in the hands of customers, you get feedback, you iterate on it. So you do a lot of the work that previously engineers were doing, and then eventually if it's a larger organization you can hand that off. So I think that's super valuable. I just ran a mini bootcamp version yesterday for Amazon, so it's like really taking off in terms of for companies as well, and then for non-technical folks that want to experts that want to create that know there's a problem that exists. Like I feel like everyone has like such an amazing idea, but previously they were not able to turn that idea into something real that they could put in front of people. So this really helps that not only for customers but also for them to think through things, because they can build and iterate so quickly. I think Cassie built her product twice because she iterated on it. So I think that's a really empowering and valuable skill that you'll see get unlocked through the bootcamp. It's like, okay, now I can just dream up of something and just go and build it. I don't have to find a technical co-founder. I don't have to look for an engineer. I can get at least V1 ready. So super important. Thank you so much, Cassie. Stan, do you wanna?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I jump into a quick demo of the platform and the product I built, I just want to quick my experience and journey at SnapCamp. So prior to SnapCamp, I was playing around, with vibe coding. I tried Lovable, I tried Replit, I tried Cursor, Windsurf. I took like a couple classes of deep learning that had a course on Windsurf. So I went through all that stuff and I tried all the different ones. And at every single one of those, I get to a sort of like point where I built something and then I get stuck. And then I tried something else to see which one I could build over, but wasn't really able to get it completed all the way. So when I heard about Kasim, I played poker with Ha and Kasim, and I heard he posted it, and I said, let me join it. I need something that pushes me. So that's a big part of it. I think what Casey mentioned is accountability, having a cohort, the community that pushes you. So when you see the product that Casey built, and I'm just showing you, what I'm building, but once you see what Cheyenne built, you'll be totally amazed at what you can accomplish in a couple of weeks, right? So, and again, as Casey mentioned, what I built was something, it was like a challenge I had. So I work at a company, a B2B marketing company. I work with a lot of our customer success manager to build like quarterly business review. I realized like they take a lot of time building stuff and they need a lot of help. So, and I was manually doing all this stuff. So I say, let me take a challenge. Let me kind of automate this process. Can I take the data that we have on how customers are using our platform, use AI to automatically create a standardized QBR deck that provide insight and value that the CSM can share with the client. So every conversation they have, there's meaningful conversation. So so what we'll do is kind of walk through a quick preview. Hopefully you can see a screen here. This is the login screen. So the first thing here, you sign in. I integrated, in this case, Google Sign On. I'm gonna log in with my account here. And I'm gonna go here, and then here I'm gonna continue. It's gonna show you some of the service I integrated. So obviously I integrated Google Sign On, but also use the Google API to integrate with Google Slides. So once I create the presentation in the platform, I can export it to Google Slides. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, accept it. So imagine I'm a customer success manager at Blue Chef, which is a company I work for. The first thing is customer success manager to put in there is, in this case, Blue Chef. I'm putting in the website and the category. So again, I'm building this internally for the company I'm working for, Blue Chef, right now. I'm hoping, I have a lot of people in the customer success sort of leaderships and people in my network. I'm hoping I can build this that, other customer success leaders can use. So here, in this case, I have a couple of sort of category. In this case, cross-channel marketing automation. But obviously, I would expand this into other categories, like, other sort of SaaS solutions, other categorization. Go ahead, complete this. It's going to create the profile, and it's going to encourage you to create that presentation for your client. So right now, let's say one of the clients is Urban Outfitter. And then I'm going to the Urban Outfitter, what category or industry this client is. In this case, Urban Outfitter is retail e-commerce. And the power comes in is now you can leverage all the data that you're using. So how is Urban Outfitter using Blue Chef? So in this case, I'm manually uploading files. I'm manually uploading some usage data that's being pulled from their account. I'm gonna also export some reports that we could use Domo for reporting. So I'm gonna import these 3 files. In the future, I'm gonna hopefully integrate with something like Mixpanel or Domo or Amplitude. I'm actually talking to one of my good friends at Mixpanel tomorrow to figure out how we can kind of maybe how his team can use it as well. So just the 3 files, just give you a sense of what they look like. Again, this is like a file, for example, that in a customer like Urban Outfitter would be using, and I'm exporting so the campaigns are running, what type of segment they're using, what type of campaigns and the revenue. And then we use Domo internally for some reports. So again, it's using all the customer data, and then basically in this case, some of their data and so forth, and using AI to basically create a presentation. So we'll go ahead and actually, it's gonna take a few minutes to run it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into one of the presentation I already built. So this is the output. So in this case, it's going to create like a 6-slide standard QBR slide. You can present it as if you were doing it in like PowerPoint or Google Slide. You can also export the to a PDF, PowerPoint, or Google Slides. Let me go ahead and present this. So again, it's going to be very standardized slides, but they're customized. In this case, agenda slide, in this case, the key agenda, the goals. These objectives are customized one-on-one, personalized based on the platform Blue Chef is, a cross-channel platform, and along with scraping the information about Urban Outfitter. So it's using all that information, using AI, scraping certain information from both the B2B company website, Blue Chef, and also Urban Outfitter, determine what type of sort of objectives and pains and challenges that a solution like Blue Chef would solve for Urban Outfitter. And then I can go through, and then it would be slide 2 is looking at those sort of data set, kind of pull out sort of key raw information. So in this case, for Urban Outfitter, some key sort of metrics are multi-channel increased lift by 31%, 6.1% event trigger recommendation. So really the key thing is highlighting at a high macro level how they're using the Blue Chef platform. The next thing is how are they using and what features they're using. So what kind of adoption they're using. In this case, we're talking about behavioral recommendations and engaged time optimization. But let's say, for example, you want to get more detail. Let's say, for example, here on this key metrics, I want to better understand what event trigger campaigns were the most successful. So I want to do a deeper dive, and the customer is asking the CSM. This is where I built the AI assistant that actually can ask additional questions. So this is where, in addition to the content it's providing, I can ask this sort of your personal assistant here. Let me, what are the top 3 event trigger campaigns with the highest click-through rate? So let's go run through it. I'm using RAG and then using a backend to kind of look at the data and come up, based on the data, provide the insight. Slide 3 here, again, how they're using it. And then you look at here. Now, if the customer is asking specifically what campaigns are the top performing, you can tell here the welcome series, and the reason why the cart abandon campaign was the second most successful, and some of the reason behind it, and third, in this case, post-purchase follow-up. So not only give you high-level information, but also give you the ability for the CSM to do a deeper dive if your customer has specific questions about the data.
Hey,
And then slide 4, yep.
Stan, I'm gonna just interrupt you in a little bit just because I want to make sure that we get through like the whole agenda. Is it okay if we kind of
Yeah.
wrap up your demo and
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know we wanted to also show Cheyenne's product, but before we do, I do want to just make sure that we get some questions in. So any questions from the group for myself, Stan, Cassie, or Kasim?
Actually, I had a question. I love how you set up the program. This is Isha.
Hi, Isha. Good to see you.
Hi. What if we can't make the times because it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning? It is peak work hours.
Mhm.
What is the other option that we might have?
So that's a great question, Isha. If you could mention that, like what time works for you, I'll just add it in the form. Let's see how many people sign up.
Yeah, I know we thought about doing an evening boot camp, so that might be a good option. So,
Or early morning, like 8 a.m. or something.
yep. Other questions?
So I've added 8:30 a.m. in the morning if people think that's better. So
I think someone is wanted to ask question in the chat. Josh, I believe.
Hey, I don't want to bogart the entire time. I had a bunch of questions, so I'll ask one or two, and if we have time, we can get to the other ones.
Yeah, perfect.
You mentioned, Kasim, that some things aren't buildable within the 2.5 weeks of the boot camp. What do you feel like are the limitations of that? Like, why not within that time?
that's a great question. So we're shying away from mobile apps for now, just because it requires a bunch of testing. And then if you go to Android, there are different devices. So I don't want people to get stuck on, okay, this works on this device, but doesn't work on this device. So one is mobile apps. And then secondly, we just help people narrow the scope to core value that you can add for others. So we've had like cases where people wanted like 50 different features or 10-20 different features, so we just narrowed down. But apart from that, anything else, if it's a web application or like Cassie built like a mobile version of the web application that could just work in a web view and maybe later become a mobile app, that is totally doable.
Okay.
Well,
And
we saved Cheyenne for last because when he goes, you'll just see, wow, he really did a ton in 2.5 weeks. He built like multiple products, multiple features within it. So to me, I think some of the limitation is your own time. So how much time do you want to put against building your product during these 2.5 weeks? So for me, I was on vacation for a good chunk of it. So I was putting in 1, maybe 2 hours, like every couple of days, and then some of the bootcamp participants, including the ones on this call, got really into it, and then just like would allocate 1 or 2 hours, and then 4 or 5 hours later, they're like, I can't stop. It's a dopamine hit. So I do think you can build anything. It's whatever you can imagine, and then it's really a function of sort of the time and the effort that you have during the 2.5 weeks.
Yep. One more add on to that is like in some cases, people wanted like a very difficult deep integration, and we were able to actually do it for them. So that's where the one-on-one engineering time comes in, but that does consume more time. But yeah, for this cohort, for example, we had Chloe that wanted to do an integration with her Instagram, and she had like multiple Instagram accounts. And then we were able to do it for her, but that just takes a little bit more time. So it just depends on how much time you're willing to spend. Another question from Josh is, what support do bootcamp engineers provide? They're there to help you out. So you will basically tell them, this is where I'm stuck. It could be something as simple as, I have this bug in my code and I can't seem to get this button to work, versus I want to get a deep integration done with Instagram, which is what's going to take more time. But if you're like comfortable with that, then they can dedicate a few hours to that. So you get 5 hours of engineering time. So they're there for you. So you dictate how they can help and support you. These are engineers that know, like super experienced. So they can, let me put it this way. There has never been any situation in any of our boot camps where the engineers were not able to unblock someone. It's like just has never happened. And this is like, we're over 50 now that have 55, 60 people that have gone through these boot camps. They've always been able to come up with a solution.
wait, so could you clarify that a little bit? Like, are they getting into the generated code itself and making changes, or are they helping the vibe coders, like generate different prompts so that these bugs get ironed out?
That's a great question. Both. So what happens is you schedule a one-on-one call through a chat within the tool itself. So somebody will hop on a call with you immediately and say, "Hey, what's the problem? Where are you stuck?" And they'll actually help you through it and debug. But then you'd be like, "Okay, I want to do like," which is rare, by the way. The second case is rare where it's like, "Okay, nothing works. I want to do a deep integration." Then they can get into the code if needed. But first instruction that's given to them is make sure to help people through their problems, unless it's something super complicated, and then they can help do it and then later tell you how they did it. So if it can be done over a call, they'll do it over a call. Otherwise, they'll take it offline. Cassie wants to add something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just share, every time I've talked with an engineer, it starts off with me sharing my screen and my code editing tools. And then like we're prompting together and learning together. And we're really working with engineering to be like, a lot of people in the cohort don't want engineers to do things for them, right? They actually want to do it pairing. So it was like the joke is this is the new pairing approach for things like pair engineering, or because people that are building actually want to be able to like have this as their launch platform to continue building after the cohort, right? So that means they need to develop and build the muscles, the independence, the ability to learn. A lot of this is about learning how to learn, like straight up. So I think of those engineering hours not as just getting unblocked, but learning how to learn, and just like through the modeling that's happening with the engineers working with you. There definitely have been times where I've seen engineers unblock people. And then those people are like, wait, I wish I was there with the engineer the whole time so I could have learned what they were doing as well. So I think, really you need to decide also like for your intentions, what are you participating for and what are you optimizing for? And then, really advocate for that when you're working with engineering as well.
Yep, exactly.
There are a
Let me
couple of
take,
questions in the comments.
yes.
Someone's asking if you offer more than 5 hours of support if needed.
Yes, we do offer more than 5 hours of support. So even after the bootcamp, you will get engineering support. We'll do it at a discounted rate for the engineers. So far, we've just been comping people 1 or 2 hours extra without charging anything because we want to make sure everyone pushes through. But yes, we do offer engineering support even more than the 5 hours.
And then Gloria is asking, how many cohorts do you have per month?
So public cohorts, it's right now one cohort per month, but now we've started getting a lot of private cohorts with enterprises. So typically we'd be doing between 1 to 2 per month, but for public cohorts, it's one per month.
One of the things I wanted to share is that my business partner took the first boot camp with me, and he is not a product leader. He's always been an ops guy his entire life, never worked with engineers, never coded anything. And he got through the whole boot camp without really consuming any engineering hours, maybe like 30 minutes or an hour. So you really can push through, and there are so many resources available for you to learn on your own. But it is always just nice to have that safety net, right? Like, okay, I've spent a couple of hours on this problem. I still, haven't been able to figure it out. I'm going to call an engineer now. So I do think that I've seen sort of and Cassie alluded to this, like, sort of, range of like learners, like those who just want to push through and, it's like, okay, I want to learn how to fish. I don't want somebody to fish for me. And then others are like, oh, I don't have that much time. Maybe guilty as charged, and like, time to call an engineer. So, but the nice thing about the boot camp is that it's very personalized towards your needs. It's not a one size fits all boot camp in my, from what I've observed. So
I think there's a good question by Tanjina. She's asking about the credits, $400. Is that good enough? Or but I'll just add quickly and say that I was able to do 2 projects in those credits, so I think they will be more than enough. But Qasim, you want to add? Go ahead.
Yep. So great question. So $400 is for the Gemini API credits. We do highly recommend. It's optional, but we do highly recommend using Claude for debugging. If so, not just Claude, like we really recommend switching models when you're stuck. So So that would cost you anywhere from $50 to $100 extra if you use Claude for debugging. And the more you use it, the more extra it's gonna go, but it's not gonna be more than like $100 or something. But we do recommend spending that extra amount so that it helps you unblock yourself much quicker. And you own all the code, you have all the access to the code, everything's super transparent, you have access to your GitHub. We'll teach you how to push code to GitHub. You can take away access from anyone anytime you want.
I've seen one great question here from Sean, and Sean's my buddy. So hey, Sean, good to see you here. But he has a cool financial product he's looking at. And I think this is another one, like trying to understand the complexity of products that we can build. And it looks like I got a +1. So can you take a quick scan at that?
Yep. So I think we will have to look into this particular product. Like, is it something that requires like fine tuning the model? And if yes, then that might be harder for the bootcamp versus if it's something that can be done through RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, where you give it access to a bunch of different sets of data or like access to your data, and then it can pick the right answers for you. Then that is very doable during the bootcamp.
Sean, let's just follow up with me afterwards and we can do a little sanity check on that for you.
Yep. Prema asked if access to API from ad platforms. So we'll have to see how that API works. Generally speaking, so far, everyone that's done integrations has been able to do it. But then my recommendation for them is like, don't have 20 features and this integration is just one of them. Then we can focus on doing the integration, doing the hard parts first. And that's how we'll narrow down the scope to do the hard parts first. And then you can continue building even after the bootcamp is over. Mike asks, where are the apps hosted? So yes, they are. You can, so we help you. So we'll take care of the deployments hosted on our platform. But if you're like, no, I want to do it on mine, you have complete support. In cohort 1, we actually help people deploy themselves on Vercel and Render. So even in this one, that's something that we're doing. Next one, we will automate deployments. But if you want to say, no, I want to do it on some other infra, the engineers can help you do that. Okay, awesome. Any other questions? And we will go to the last demo and still stay back for more question answers.
All right, so Shayan, why don't we have you demo, because this is super impressive. I'm always blown away every time I see your demo. But Shayan, you get 5 minutes, unfortunately. I know you could go 20, but we'll give you 5.
Sure. I'll try to stay within that limit. All right, cool. Do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So what I built is called Uplit. This is a marketing automation platform built for restaurants, right? You can imagine everything really on about the digital space that they're dealing with right now. So even this landing page, by the way, is built within that SnapCamp cohort I was in. So I built some cool features, adding dark mode, light mode, all of the things that I would dream about. But then, yes, you can log in and there's a chatbot right here, which can, it's like an assistant, an AI assistant, which can answer basic questions on what we do and answer, give good answers based on whatever you feed them, or use AI to do it. But we're going to quickly go and, jump in the platform and, see what we're going to be, giving these restaurants. So restaurants can come in, look at their dashboard, first of all. This can give them, all their information that they need on what campaigns are running, for example, SMS campaigns or ads that are going on right now. There's a marketing score, which we will see eventually. And then there are a bunch of AI features, but also what I, got from feedback from customers is also the website builder. So in the restaurant space, even today, like people underemphasize the need of the website, and they just open their doors, and some of them still don't have a website right now. So I was pushed through these customers, and they said, "Hey, get us something quick." So I said, "Okay, yeah, absolutely." So I got the website builder build. Think of this as the Wix for or the Webflow for restaurants. So I built in a few quick templates where they can see what they like, and let's say we go with this one, and they can start building right away. And let's call this SD Cafe, right? And you can change pretty much anything. And this was unimaginable, honestly. And it was not even part of my initial plan, but then eventually, because of feedback and everything, I went in and built it, right? So you can obviously customize it for tablets, mobile, all of that. It's responsive. And all of this is built within, our Uplet platform. Now you can go and edit and change however you want. You can upload images, hero images, change colors, right? Do all of that fun stuff right on the go. And then, if you wanted to change anything, your FAQs, everything is possible just right here. So they could really launch their website within, let's say 30 minutes if they needed to, right? But they eventually can also, I'm going to be building this AI website builder also as part of this, where what we're going to do is, um, build the website just through a few prompts that we can answer here, and then the website is already built. So, as you see this website, you can keep customizing it and keep working on it. There's a lot more, but I'm gonna go pick some AI features that I worked on because this is quite useful for these restaurant owners. So one of the things that they kind of don't know about today is like, where do they stand when it comes to their digital presence? Like, what is their grade, right? So I built something where you can put their name, website, Google Business Profile, cuisine, and location, and it can analyze something for you. Right now, we'll just run demo in the interest of time, but it will give you all your grades. It will say, hey, this is where your website really ranks. This is your social media. This is Google Business, and then this is how your menu really is running. And then eventually you can click this AI button again and kind of see why you got that score. It's for loading speed, you have online ordering, or you don't, right? So based on metrics that were built, knowing what these guys need. I am from the restaurant tech industry, so I understand what works and what they need and what they really benefit from. So, all of this is based on that. The other one is content creation, right? So here you could really go in and then, put in a picture and see what you want to do with the picture. Let's say I'll take one of these, and, I can use one of the presets I have here. Let's say I want it to be social media ready and I quickly want to enhance it. So it does the job, right? Now, it's not, it's still, I'm still working on it. It's going to make it better, but you probably realize that it made the background more white. It made the patty more juicy and sharpened it up. So it's more and more appetizing, right? And then you can see which platform you want to customize it for, and generate your content, and then eventually also post from here after we get the integration done. So that's going to be for their social media and marketing piece. But then we have a marketing score that's going to grade pretty much everything on their digital side, be it their Google profile, website, social media presence, online ordering, emails that they're sending out, and so on and so forth. All of those things which contribute to a score, and this is like what they need to keep in mind. But there are other features which are big, but I don't want to go over them because we know about it, which is sending out SMS to your customers, or even launching ad campaigns right from the platform. There's other things that I've built for it, like there's the admin side where you can control all the restaurants, what they do. But I'll just quickly show you, take a minute, this second project that was built within that bootcamp. And that's like, it's like an Amazon for restaurants again, since I love the industry, where restaurants can order from vendors, right? They can go and check out the marketplace and see what kind of food, whatever they want. They want dairy, meat, whatever, and they can go visit the storefront or place a quick order. and then eventually, send the order to them. Vendors receive their order, they have their own login, and they can fulfill those orders. So I built both of these platforms. I'm right now working on a few things like, a price comparison tool, and then also more on their storefront. So, but yes, I was able to build the Bistro board and Uplit within this, and it's honestly life-changing for me. When Cassie was saying that, it's one of the greatest moments in her career, I would 100% agree. I think this has not just changed my career, I would say changed my life, because last weekend I wanted to build something around pickleball because that's a sport I love and I'm engaged, and I built something like a booking page for that. So yeah, I can't recommend this enough, and it is really this was for me, and it's gonna be for you, where you join in, you learn, and then you've unlocked something for life. It's not temporary. It's not just for the sake of it or just for a certification. It's going to be with you forever, and you can keep building whatever you want on it. So, yeah, that should be all. I know there's probably a couple of minutes over my 5 minutes, but yeah, if there are any questions, I can take those.
Awesome. Thank you, Cheyenne. That was awesome. Okay, let's take some more questions, but wow, to say something is life-changing, that's pretty incredible. So
Awesome. So Josh has a question. How confident are you these generated applications are stable, reliable, secure, well-written, maintainable, iterable code? That's why we have the one-on-one engineers available. So whenever you want to get a code review done, whenever you want to get like a sanity check on how how far along your product is in terms of code and get it done, you have engineers that can hop on a call. So pretty reliable, pretty secure. Just as an example, I think Sean has started generating revenue through real users using his products. So definitely that's a big differentiator. So it's not just a black box. It might be because you're not writing code, but then you can always get an engineer to hop on call and just do a code review.
Yeah. And I would just say, like, I mean, it's on you, right? How well written this is going to be, how maintainable this is going to be. Because when I started, it was just an idea, and but now it's something which is in the hands of customers, and then on the marketplace, there have been few orders that have been placed. So you got to keep working for it. You want to understand it better, and then you just keep changing it and evolving it.
I'll just jump in and say that, I'm seeing different levels of this across the board in my current cohort, and not necessarily because they don't have engineering support, but it's also, as if any of you are product people or engineers or builders, you know that you have scope, quality, resources, and time, right? And like each of those, you pull one and it pulls the other, right? So really, it's just going to depend if you have on your scope, and then like the amount of time you have to make sure you're making those investments, etc. And so it's not like there's a guarantee here that you're going to come in with an idea and come out the other end with like a bulletproof SOC 2 compliant application that's going to pass an audit by a financial institution you're doing an integration with, right? Like that's not this is, but you'll have the foundations that you need to build that, and then you'll also have the support also from the ongoing like process of working with this group, because there are, it's not like it ends. You can continue to work with engineers after the boot camp, right? So it's that you're set up for success, and that's what Kasim is like so beautifully, earnestly trying to do, is really help all of these people succeed in bringing their things to life in the right way. So I'm going to share that point of view too.
Agreed. And also, like, on top of that, it's like how much time you're investing into it. So the more time you invest into it, the better the product's gonna get, the more features, the more stable. All of those things are like sort of directly correlational, because we're making sure that like the more time you spend on it, the more time you take from the engineers, the better it's gonna go. So you could spend a couple of hours, you could spend 6 hours, 8 hours a day. It completely varies from person to person and project to project. But our idea is to empower you rather than us just taking over the project and building it for you. So that's not the goal. Any other questions? So we have 4 minutes. I'd really encourage you to use the link. I'll paste it again to sign up. You'll receive an email once I go through your application. It's gonna take maximum 2 minutes to do, so please fill it out. And yeah, we have another question. What strategies or frameworks do you recommend for building a focused and achievable product roadmap within the 2.5 week idea to product? That's a great question. So even before the bootcamp begins, we get people to build PRDs and share it with us. So we work with every individual on a case-to-case basis, reviewing the idea. And reviewing the idea and then making sure that it's buildable, achievable within 2.5 weeks. So we actually manually review every single PRD and development plan. Great question. So September 12th is when it's going to kick off. Friday, September 12th. It's in the form as well, but and on the website. But for those asking, it's going to be September 12th. Awesome. More questions. Anyone else has more questions?
Yeah, you're ready. I don't know where you are, but you're ready. Just do it. No, I mean, I don't want to sound too salesy about that, but like, I just call it jumping in the deep end. Like it's the best way to learn how to swim. A lot of people are using other tools and getting to different like depths. And this is something where we've seen people with zero coding experience completely do great stuff. So if you don't have time to commit, then then that might be the main barrier, I would say, because like the ROI is greater based on the more time that you can spend doing this. So like I've seen people been like working on the weekends a lot, right? Because they're so excited about the work. But if it's just a general fear or discomfort of trying something new, everybody's trying something new. So just put that out there.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks. I do have to say that of many things that I've joined lately, this feels very authentic and real compared to some different, things that I've been trying to figure out the right way to jump in and upskill in AI. So this does feel very genuine. So thank you for doing that. And another thing that I want to note that I just saw too is you don't see many programs give a guarantee of a money back if you don't feel confident within 7 days. And I just saw that as part of your your sign up in your form. So again, that's another like true, authentic, genuine thing that is really, really, really attractive to this program.
Yeah, one of my friends, Dan, is in bootcamp too, developed COVID halfway through it. And Kasim was like, just take bootcamp 3, no additional charge. And then to answer, whose question was it? Terry's question. So I am in both bootcamp. I took bootcamp 1 and I'm in bootcamp 2. And the reason why was when I was in bootcamp 1, I was in Europe for 2 weeks. And for whatever reason, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have so much more free time now that I'm not working to like vibe code late at night in my hotel rooms. And I'd get back in my hotel room, I'd be just crashed out because of a full day of like sightseeing. And so I felt like I didn't give myself justice enough. So I'm taking bootcamp 2 and I'm in Stan's pod. And the great thing, I'll emphasize this again, even though we mentioned it, it's the accountability, right? It's like the showing up every day and your pod leader will ask like, how far have you gotten? Do you have any blockers? How can we help? But then also there's twice a week demos. And so you kind of are motivated and inspired to just make progress. Otherwise you don't want to fall behind. You don't want to embarrass yourself. You want to like show off to your pod. So it's been really great. I can't emphasize the community piece enough. So Rajesh, I think you had a question.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Har and Kazim, for actually, first of all, sharing this wonderful platform and sharing all the awesome things that the team has built. Thanks for showcasing that. Couple of questions. One is, how long do we have access to it after the cohort ends for the platform? And number two, if you have your availability for a few days, whether that is like you is not there, how do we substitute that, or like what to expect? And because I'm not sure, like his expectation is, I see that it's unlimited. You can do 24 hours if you wanted to, I guess. But what is that format? I was thinking like minimum like 2 hours is what people are doing. Just the guidance would be helpful. Thanks.
Yep. So for the guidance, I think it varies, but at least allocate a couple of hours apart from the 1 hour that you will give in terms of, and that's like the bare minimum. And then you could go up from there. So I think Ha did like 10 hours in her 2 weeks, and yet we have other people that are spending way more time. So it just varies on your product, your idea, how much you want to build. All of that gets taken into account. So it's like any other engineering product, right? Like you can build something super quickly versus something that might take a year. In this case, it's not going to be a year at all. It's 2.5 weeks, but I'm just saying like it varies from product to product. And then Rajesh, what was your first question?
Yeah, so if the access to the platform extends beyond the two and a half
Yes.
weeks, or what to expect if you want to continue to iterate and build on the idea, what
Yeah,
what
yeah.
to expect?
So access to the platform is pretty forever. So you can
Okay.
continue using it. We'll give you subscription options for packaged engineering hours where you could be like, okay, I could get like 4 hours of engineering time every month at a discounted rate. But if you don't want to do that and just want to continue with the platform and just pay as you go, that's also an option.
Okay. And where can I see the details of the pricing? It's all on the site, I assume.
Yes, I will share those details over email after this call.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.
Yes, I just wanted to add something for Suzanne. She was saying she has work around it. So I just want to share my story where I think for the first 4 days or 3 days, I could not engage really with the thing. And I really had people, I was seeing other members like having built a lot of stuff and I was still at zero. So I would go in and like, let's watch a recording. And then these guys have all these guides there where you can, follow step by step and catch up real quick. And then I think I was ahead of a few people just because I used a weekend and Saturday, Sunday, I spent more hours and got everything going. So it's really your pace. That's the beauty of it. Like once you learn it, you can practice as much or you can work on it as much as you want at your own schedule.
So yep, exactly. And in case you miss a session, they're all like recorded, so you can always access the recording. Amazing. Any other question?
Last question. So you said that we can use instead of SnapDev other platforms as well as infrastructure, like if you want to use Replit or Cursor, that your team would be able to support that as well.
No, so it will have to be the SnapDev platform because it's just harder to provide support for something like Replit, Lovable, or Bolt. But if you're using Cursor, you could actually ping them and take their help. That's fine. But when it comes to Replit, Lovable, and Bolt, all their code is deployed on their platforms, and then it's hard to push it to GitHub, pull it for the engineers, push it back, make sure it works on Replit because it's just gonna consume a lot of engineering time to do all of that. But if you're using something like Cursor, so our SnapDev platform, we have like two versions. One of them is like pretty similar to Cursor, so you could use that. Or if you want to still use Cursor, you can try it out. We had somebody in this bootcamp try out 3-4 different products, and they still get access. So you will still get access to the engineering support. It's just much harder if you're using something that's web-based.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. So any last questions? I know we're out of time, so if anyone wants to hop off, they're more than welcome to do so. You'll get all the instructions over email as well. If anyone still needs more help or questions, I am happy to schedule a one-on-one call as well. So I'll share that in the email. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Please sign up as soon as possible. It's going to take 2 minutes. And then if you have more questions, just reach out over email. But at least I know what times people could prefer, and I have you in the system. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Bye.